Today is Tuesday, November the 12th, 2013, and we are about to read some excerpts from the Young Adult Literature in the Classroom, Reading It, Teaching It, Loving It by Joan B. Elliot and Mary M. Dupuis. Right now, we're going to go to the introduction section of the book, and we're going to find out how can we use this book. Okay? Teachers reading this book will reasonably ask, how can we use young adult literature in the classroom? Our contributors have included suggestions for teaching the literature they discuss in each chapter. In addition, we have asked other experienced teachers how they successfully use young adult literature in their classroom. Their responses, which we have labeled Teachers' Ideas, are included in each chapter and described briefly in the glossary of Teachers' Ideas at the end of the book. Many of the ideas are useful in various areas of young adult literature. Be sure to check the appendix 2 for a list of useful young adult literature resources on the web, including the new exciting teachers' ideas. Be creative and use these ideas wherever they work for you. Chapter 2, Thinking About Books on Paper. How can I know what I think till I see what I say? By E. M. Forster. Every writer, student, or professional can relate to E. M. Forster quote because it pinpoints the revelation writers experience upon discovering what they know and think. However, I would like amend the quote and read, how can I know what I think until I hear what I say? How can I know what I think until I hear and see what I say? Hearing involves listening to the inner dialogue as well as listening to others talk. Seeing asks the writer to read what has been composed. When talk precedes writing, it clarifies thinking and enables students to write in order to discover what they think and understand. Catherine Peterson, 1981, in an essay on reading and writing. From Gates of Excellence on reading and writing, books for children. Expand Forster's quote by adding emotion and sensory reaction to reading and writing. This is what she says. She says, now the gift of creative reading, like all natural gifts, must be nourished or it will atrophy. And you nourish it in much the same way you nourish the gift of writing. You read, think, talk, look, listen, hate, fear, love, weep, and all of your life is like a sleeve to what you read. Okay, remember when I read the introduction to this book, and throughout the chapter, we will be able to listen to some of the contributors that helped establish this book. And what I just read in chapter 2, which was an expansion of what E.W. said and what the authors of this book said in collaboration to what Catherine Patterson said in her essay. She wrote an essay she's one of the contributors to the book. And this is what she says. She says, now the gift of creative writing, like all natural gifts, must be nourished or it will atrophy. And you nourish it in much the same way you nourish a gift of writing. You read, think, talk, look, listen, hate, fear, love, weep, and bring all of your life like a seed to what you read. Okay? Okay, teachers can help students move towards valid interpretations of text, position supported with facts and inferences from the story. This model acknowledged the evolutionary process of reading, reacting to, discussing, and critically thinking about text, writing, and rereading. As readers make meaning with text, they revisit one or more parts of the model in order to construct an accurate interpretation. Read and reread. How students read books at school is equally important as what they read. Chapter by chapter reading, followed by the end of the chapter questions, is frustrating and unnatural. You want to share those great parts with a friend. You resent putting the book aside and try to carve out time to finish it. To stimulate natural reading as closely as possible, I work with my students to negotiate reasonable due dates for the entire book and ask them to decide on a pause point. A pause point takes place to stop, react, pose questions, and discuss, usually every time 3 to 5 chapters. Okay, so that's what we're going to start doing. You know, we're going to read like 3 to 5 chapters of books, and then we're going to stop, right? React to the book, react to the chapters, pose some questions about the chapter, and discuss. Okay? Why is that so important?
So that you can understand the book a little bit
better. Yeah, because reading it, speaking of it, writing about it, that's the real talent, okay, that a person can really uphold.
The same thing as think while you're reading.
Yeah, think while you're reading, yeah. All right, so we're going to pause here and we're going to we're going to pause here and we're going to go and do a little bit of time for learning. Okay.